Hey peeps, Muppy here. First, I want to thank all of you so much for your birthday wishes and for supporting yet another Adventures of Columbo Mid-Coast Humane fundraising effort. We've just kicked it off today, but I'm really excited about how much has already come in, and I have no doubt we will reach our goal and be able to make a real meaningful impact in the lives of some homeless dogs that start out in Georgia and make their way to Maine. But I wanted to share some information with you guys about what it's like traveling with a young dog. The Facebook posts and when he's out in public and going to stores make it look super easy. And I want to make sure people understand it's not always that easy. It's not easy at all. Not every dog goes to a new place and just settles right in like, oh, this is great, I love traveling. While Dobby doesn't mind traveling and he seems to enjoy it, he finds it confusing. And he was like this a little bit when we were in Camden earlier, before Christmas. Oh, here he's coming to lay behind me. Bo is to my left and Dobby just crossed by. Levi's over here snoozing and Columbo's over here chewing on a bone. It's hard to get the camera over there. So I digress because, you know, Dobby needs to be the center of the world. So I walked him a lot when I was in Camden because I was so afraid he'd have an accident in a hotel. Our situation when we go to the White Mountains in New Hampshire is a little bit different, and I'm not quite as paranoid about him having an accident, but he was definitely confused the first day we were there. He couldn't figure out how to tell me he had to go out, and because we were in a second floor unit, and the door is down a set of stairs, and he just didn't know how to convey that, and it was obvious he was confused. But, you know, after the first day, he figured, oh, if I walk to the sliding door to the deck and wallop that with my paw, just like I do at home, then she'll come get me and take me down the stairs and take me out, which was great. But it was a learning curve to get there, and it didn't happen instantly. And, you know, he had some mistakes getting there. But it was obvious he was confused. And then even when I took him outside to go potty, he wasn't sure where he should go, and I thought I was doing everything right. I walked him, I brought him to where I knew other dogs were marking and going to the bathroom to try to help him figure out that's where he should go, and he still really struggled with it, and it was cold. It was really cold on Saturday with the wind chill, and I must have spent 45 minutes sitting outside on a bucket by the front door that had sand in it, bundled up in my jacket with my hood on, waiting for him to figure it out. And I'd go back in, I'd give up and be like, oh, you must not have to go. I'd go back in, and he'd find a spot, he'd hide away and start to pee. And I'd think, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Dobby, stop. And I would go grab him, and we'd go back outside and spend another half hour. I don't know. It felt like forever because it was cold. It probably wasn't quite as bad as it felt, but it was really cold, and it was long, and it took that time for him to sort of figure out, oh, I'm supposed to do my business here. You know, he did get it, but it was a significant amount of effort to help him understand it. But if you want to bring your dogs and do new things and have them go new places, some of them take time to figure it out. And, you know, Bo never seemed to have that issue and just sort of like, oh, this is what I do here and this is where I go potty. But Dobby is a different dog, and he had a hard time. He figured it out, but he seems to be really happy to be at home with his brothers again, even though he had a good time doing everything. So anyway, if you stuck with me for this long, it's a long video, but I thought it was important to share this feedback with you guys because sometimes I think social media makes it look like everything is super easy and breezy and no work goes into anything, and that's certainly not the case. Some days it's easy. This weekend was not easy. It was really fun. I'm so glad we did it. I'm glad Dobby was able to go. But it was work, and fortunately there weren't a lot of other people around, so when he, you know, did talk a little bit inside, he wasn't bothering anyone. It was a great weekend for training. There's more to do, and I'm sure he'll figure it out. So that's it. Thanks. Muppy out.